This is Jessica Wilson, and I'm here with, I'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Cactus Jack. G'day.
He's from Australia, and he's just sang beautiful music to us. So I want to spend some time and talk with him. I love what you said when you said, you talked about your ex, and you said there's a reason why they're that way. Tell me how you got to that.
It took a little while for me to understand that people's lives are a sum of events, and I couldn't understand. You only know what you know, right? Until you experience something different. And I realized one day that I can't get angry at people who don't understand how I'm feeling, because they may have never felt how I'm feeling before. I need to just sort of step back and say, okay, they don't walk in my shoes, they don't know my past and my history, and then it dawned on me that I don't know their past, and I don't know their history, and maybe I need to step back and say, all right, there are reasons for why you behave this way, and there are reasons for why you don't behave this way, and I need to be more forgiving.
Well, and you know, all of us, especially people that have been through divorce, we very much feel like we have these hurts. We've been wronged.
Yes.
And I see how you've been able to harness that and forgive people by gaining that understanding, by gaining that empathy.
Empathy is a great word. Lots of people have sympathy for other people's feelings and other people's lives. Oh, isn't that terrible that this happened? But then there are people that go, oh my, I know how they feel, because they've experienced it and they can actually show empathy. And there's still only one, as we say, bloke on the planet who can empathize with every single person, and that's the Savior, because he experienced everything. You know, he took upon himself not only our mistakes, but our hurts, the abuses, the wrongs, the unfairness of life, and he experienced all that for us. And so I now look at these events that have taken place in my life and say, okay, this gives me an opportunity to put my arm around someone else and say, I know how you feel.
Because you do know.
Because I do know. And I'm also very careful not to disrespect things that I don't know yet.
Right.
You know, and that's been a turnaround for me, is that there are people that don't get certain aspects of someone else's life. And so we need to respect that. Say, okay, well, how can we have sympathy for that and support it, even though we can't empathize with it?
Well, you know, I always feel bad when I talk to a friend that's had a miscarriage, because I've never been through that, and I don't know what to say.
Right.
But you know, if I talk to someone, you know, where you know they've had a spouse addicted to this, or that dealt with this, or I had a sister commit suicide, I know how to succor that need because I've been there.
Right. You can
You know,
relate to
and
it.
so I mean, it is something. You know, those of us that've been through a divorce can really be a support for each other, because we've been through those things, and you can help each other. I like what you said about if you're not happy, tell the story you told about the dog and the nail. I don't think everyone's heard that story.
Okay. All right. Well, I like to say, if I'm not happy today, if I'm not feeling joy, it's my fault. And if you're not happy today, it's your fault. It is. It's your choice. And so the story goes that there's a young man who moves into a town and he goes to work. And he passes by this old bloke's house every day, and the old bloke's sitting on a rocking chair, whittling in the mornings and whittling in the evenings. And next to this bloke on the porch, or we say veranda, is a hound dog, and the hound dog is just howling away, just almost like he's in pain every day. And the young man notices this in the morning, kind of ignores it, walks to work, comes back that evening, the old man's still there, and the hound dog's just howling away. So this goes by for a week. Finally, the young man says, "Excuse me, sir, could you tell me what's wrong with your dog?" And the old man says, "Well, he's just sitting on a nail." And the young man says, "Well, why doesn't he just get up and move?" And the old man says, "Must not hurt him that much." And I listen to people complain now, and I literally see them turn into this hound dog. And they're just like complaining. Well, get up and move. Just get up and move. And
You said in any direction.
in any direction.
Just move.
Just get up and move into some direction, because the Spirit cannot guide something that isn't moving. And the Spirit is not designed to do it for us, but to guide us.
Well, I think you can't hear that till you're ready. I remember after my divorce, I was complaining to a friend about, I kept hearing, what my previous companion had said to me in my head. You know, and I was hearing it, and my friend looked at me, and my friend said, "Well, that's your choice." And I was like, "Oh no, it's not. You know, I've been wronged." And she goes, "You're choosing to replay that in your head. That's your choice." You know, it's one thing if you were abused, But it's another thing if you continue to replay that in your head, that's your choice.
Right, to
and
perpetuate
at first I was
it.
offended.
Yeah.
No, I'm the victim. And I'm like, you know what? This is my choice. And now I am in control. If I'm not happy, it's my own fault. And it was, I had to be ready for that. Someone tells it to you before you're ready, it doesn't do any good.
And you're stuck in your ego about it.
Yeah.
You can be so. I was so offended when that was first told to me.
I have lots of pride. I got all kinds of pride.
Yeah.
But when you're ready, and someone says, move, get off the nail.
Get off the nail.
When you're ready for it, you can hear it.
Yeah. But you need to keep saying it. And it doesn't sound very sympathetic when people say, well, it's your fault. But it is empathy in its purest form. It is, I love you, Jessica. Get off the nail.
Well, that's you talked about. Like, he goes by Cactus Jack, and he was talking about thorns, and we all have these thorns, right, that we carry, and
Right.
that you can read them in people, and if you've been there, you can read it. And I thought, Christ had the crown of thorns, and those of us, everyone's had a trial. Everyone's had something, and if you don't believe they've had a trial, you don't know them. Everyone's had something, and I was just so inspired by the thought that you're not a cactus. You're a lily. You may think you have thorns in your pokey, and I just want you to know you're not. You're a lily, and you're a rose, and you convey peace to people, and that's a great blessing. So I want to thank you so much for speaking and for your music. And get one of his CDs. We'll tag it in the post.
Yes, please. All right. Thank you, darling. Give us a hug.
Thank you.
Thank you.